How to determine your rates. A huge part of owning a successful towing business is setting your basic towing and service call rates. Most new towers are so excited to be in business that they lose their heads when the phone rings. In an effort to run every call, they will do and say anything to make the sale and practically give their services away in the process. Before you can properly charge for your services, you need to know what it costs to be in business. There are two types of costs in any business: fixed costs and variable costs. Fixed costs are what you pay whether or not you turn a wheel. They include your truck payment, rent or mortgage, telephone, utilities, bookkeeping, uniforms, advertising, insurance, other annual expenses like licensing and registering your truck, business and merchants licenses, association dues, subscriptions, and ongoing education. Variable costs vary with the amount of work performed. They include fuel, repairs, tires, servicing, parts, windshield washer fluid, miscellaneous expenses like damages, office supplies, and shrinkage. What we're doing here is determining what rate you'll charge, not setting up your books for accounting purposes. Your truck and any real estate owned are assets, but for the purposes of setting your rates, they're considered liabilities. The 4 steps for determining your rates for basic services are: 1. Identify and enumerate both fixed and variable costs. 2. Determine how many calls you will run monthly. 3. Use the profit calculator to find your desired rate for basic services. And 4. Test it in the market and consult your competition. 1. Identify and enumerate costs. When you're just starting off, you won't have most of the information you need to complete the list. This leads many new towers to take the easy route and fall in line with the lowest competitors' rates, or even worse, they'll come in a few dollars under. It's a bit harder, but instead I suggest you take the time to make some calls and gather the average costs. Assume you're replacing tires annually, and for repairs and parts, take the cost of replacing an engine and divide it by 24 months. It won't be completely accurate, but you will have a conservative starting point. 2. Determine how many calls you'll run monthly. Use a conservative number. I suggest 8 calls per day multiplied by 22 workdays per month, weekends off, which comes out to 176 calls per month. If you work 8 hours per day, you should easily be able to run 1 call per hour. You can adjust this as needed. 3. Find your desired rate for basic services. Plug all the numbers into the profit calculator: fixed costs, variable costs, and days worked per month. Then multiply the number of calls you believe you'll be able to run by an average sale per call trial rate. This gives you your average monthly sales. Subtract your costs from that number, and you'll have the before-tax monthly profit. Adjust the average sale per call until you have a monthly profit amount that you can live with. 4. Consult the competition and perform a market test. Now that you have your average sale per call trial rate, the rate at which you should receive the desired monthly profit, with everything being equal, you need to test it. But before you do that, make a few calls to your competition to see what their rates for similar services are. Call a couple of repair shops and inquire as to the rates they pay, and then allow the market to help you decide. If what you're charging for basic services is reasonable and somewhere between the highest competitor and the lowest competitor's rates, you should be fine. Within a short time, you'll know and can adjust accordingly if necessary.